What's up, peeps? Y'all know I got to talk about last night's vice presidential debate. Right off the clip, let me just say, it just felt so good to see myself represented on screen, right? For a second, it was like I was watching a sitcom instead of watching something so serious because I just got so enthralled with seeing a professional black woman. We don't see ourselves. We're not represented. And so it was like when we used to love Scandal, it was just like, it's like when we used to love, Felicia Rashad on the Cosby Show. Like it's lovely to see ourselves represented on screen, even when it's nonfiction instead of fiction. It was just nice. So that was the first thing. Secondly, though, it so accurately represented what it's like to work as a black woman in America, right? Like so much. You know, on one, we had a moderator, a woman, white woman, that I believe tried her best to moderate and keep things under control. But she could not help but to give into her natural inclination of allowing a man the power to overtalk, to overspeak, to speak longer than the woman, right? That's something that happens all the time, and we need to be very conscientious of it, right? We talk all these things about women empowerment, but oftentimes we don't have the backs of our fellow women. So we need to work on that. Secondly, I could so it so resonated in me the dance that Senator Harris was having to do with Vice President Pence. She had to be strong, knowledgeable, in control, show that she could be a leader, while at the same time not doing anything that would suggest that she had an attitude, was a bitch, was hard to get along with. And I saw her trying to dance, right? So had she told Pence to shut up the same way Biden was allowed to and lauded for doing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine had our girl said, shut up to Pence? The names that she'd be called this morning had she done that. She doesn't have the luxury to get away with Biden, with what Biden does. And she knows that, right? She's been a woman working in this world for all her life. So she gets that. But we all have to get it and we all have to remember it. And when Pence kept over talking her and wouldn't allow her to speak, she was in this position, this position that all of us women are often in, where you have to show your leadership and stand your ground while also not being accused of being too forceful, a bitch, having an attitude, especially a black woman's attitude. And so she smiled. We all saw that. She would smile. We could read her eyes, but she would smile and say, I was talking. I was talking, right? Because she knows that she couldn't say, I was talking. Excuse me, I was talking. She couldn't get away with that, right? A man could. Woman, no, not going to happen. So she had to smile. So it's at once having to be warm, warmer than a person deserves, yet space and taking our time and taking our space. The other time when Pence, with his overconfidence, which many of us face, people who act as if they know more than us when they are less qualified, less experienced, less knowledgeable about a subject, but their bravado, their confidence that the world has given them just because they happen to be born white or happen to be born male. And he's telling her and talking to her about legal issues. And she had to say, I will not be lectured by you. I will not be lectured by you. We've all been there, right? Where we're sitting and having to bite the inside of our cheeks because someone is telling us about something that we know far more than they do. But again, having to work that balance of being respected and having to be overly respectful so we won't be accused of being bitches or having a bad attitude or hard to work with. So yeah, that's, I can't help, being in my field of DE&I, of looking at the social dynamics of these things. Of course, overall, I thought our girl did fantastically. And I want to give a special shout out to that fly. This is Randy. I always think it's time to have a conversation. So let me know your thoughts. Talk to you soon.